Hey guys, what's going on? DeltaBot here, and we are not back with another episode of the Bare Bones Challenge. If you noticed, there is an attachment on my gun, and it's a really douchey attachment. And this isn't a live commentary either. It's actually sort of, I wanted to do, not necessarily a tips and tricks video, but more of like describing my playstyle, how I think when I play the game, and what I'm trying to do. Because strictly speaking, I'm definitely not like the top players you see around. I don't play super fast. I don't do jumping in. Well, you won't actually see me doing much stuff outside of what most people do. I don't jump. I don't run around too much. Most of the time, I try to play cerebrally. I'm not a guy who necessarily plays super fast. I play off more like instinct and positioning and stuff like that. Not to say my way is better than anybody else's. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's my style of play. And let me explain the gun I'm using. Scar HSV with an infrared sight. Yes. Douchebag. 100%. This is one of the easiest guns to use in the game because range, accuracy, easy to see people, easy to shoot people, if you know how to use a rifle. It's really difficult to use a rifle in the way that most people do it, which is just spraying with this sight on, because the gun will bounce everywhere and you won't be able to draw a bead on somebody. But the reason I'm using this gun is because for the past couple games, which I'd actually been trying to get a Bare Bones Challenge recorded, it was a close range gun and these guys were just sitting long range shooting me. And it was really starting to annoy me, and my team, they had a tendency to push forward. So I wanted a gun that I could use to support them, because generally speaking, while most people on this team were actually not very good, it's better to try and support them than it is to try and win the game yourself. So you see me do that a lot, where the strategy I like to use is I won't be a guy who sits in one spot. I try to be like, I guess if you're familiar with football, what the free safety position, where if there's a hole you plug it, and that's sort of what I try to do when I'm not playing with a team, which I'm not right now. I am playing all by myself. And if you noticed, I finally put the FTW clan tag on my name, because I've been running with those guys for probably about a month now, and I hadn't done it, and they were all bugging me about it, so I finally did. First time I've ever put a clan tag on in any Battlefield game. So there's that. And this entire game is really a good example of there's good examples of do's and good examples of don'ts. There are times when I struggle, and there are times when I do really well. Right here, it's kind of me being an idiot. I thought that I could keep, if I just kept the guys over there off of my teammates, they'd be able to defuse the charge because they were all over it. I was wrong. I should have gone down there and done something myself. We lost the charge, probably mostly because of me, even though there were a bunch of people down there who could have defused it. I feel like it's my responsibility as generally a better player than most to play up to that and to support my team in that way, because that's the type of player I am. Now right here was really important. It wasn't a huge push by them, but had they gotten alpha, they would have, momentum is actually a really big thing. They would have been rolling, and we would have been in huge trouble. And I made the switch to the AEK for two reasons. First, close range obviously need high rate of fire weapon. Second, it is actually still usable in medium to long range situations, and I just got a taste of my own medicine. It is better than the FAMAS if you can survive for more than one clip. The FAMAS will shred people, yes, but it takes so long to reload. It's almost not worth that fast rate of fire. Plus, it bounces way more than this gun. And I think that guy stepped into the barrel that I blew up, but I don't know exactly, so he's dead. And this is I kind of go on a tear here, and another really important thing was getting the guys off of here, because people love being up there. So if you let them stay up there, they've got a position where you can't defuse Bravo unless you clear them out, and they can shoot you if you're in this hallway. And I just got my life saved right there, which is why I say thanks. And this is really me trying to be a free safety. You know, I saw him pushing Bravo, so I went over to Bravo to try and get rid of them there. And you can see the wire for the Claymore, which is why I'm just like, no, not going through there. And then you can see him start to push inside, push Alpha, so I move over to that side to try and support my teammates. Because a lot of the time, it isn't so much huge pushes that'll happen, it's you'll just spring a leak. You'll get 1 or 2 guys through, and they'll spawn 2 squads off of them, and then you're screwed. So really, I try to keep those leaks from springing. If I see a hole for them, I go over and do my best to plug it. Right here, I do sort of take position in the cafeteria here because it's actually a really good spot to defend, and you'll see these guys start using smoke, which is actually really useful if you can play fast. That's why I move back here, because generally I don't like to put myself in a position where I have to play fast. Saw that guy out on my peripheral vision, and I saw him move over, so I wanted to move over here just in case somebody came through. Somebody did. Shot him in the face. Let's move on. And another thing you'll notice is that I'm not the best shot with this gun. However, what I do with it is I try to react as fast as possible. That doesn't mean I'm playing super fast and jumping around and stuff, but I'm reacting to what I see when I see it. Like that. See, all the jump and twisted midair and shit that wouldn't happen in real life because physics. And then I see that guy with a shotgun, and I get lucky he doesn't kill me. This is really me. This is the type of play that if I'm at my best, this is what I'm doing. And one tip with the smoke is you don't want to be in it. You either want to be behind it so you can see people running out of it, or you want to be in front of it so you can see people who try to run into it. I'm kind of breaking that rule here, but I can also see through the smoke well enough that I felt comfortable staying there. And right here, you could tell they were going to try to make a push over there again because they were throwing smoke. And the last 2 times they had done that, they had made a push to the right. So I moved over there immediately. You kind of have to use pattern analysis sometimes in this game if you want to play like I do. If you want to just jump around and stuff, that's cool too. I mean, nothing against that. And I got to say, we're really lucky this guy wasn't playing hardcore, because he shoots us in the back so many times, we would have died a lot. And they really wanted to push up this right side, and unfortunately here, like for some reason, one guy dies and then all my teammates move back, and they get in. And this is honestly, this is what happens when you spring a leak. You just get a complete inrush of enemy players, and they got it armed and they get the charge. So that was unfortunate. And at this point, I was getting kind of frustrated because I can't remember what the score was. I think I look at it in a sec. I'm trying right here to get over to the charge, but there's too many people in the way, and my teammates keep dying, and it's just a mess. So I stick with the AEK for most of the rest of the game because it is a really good all-around gun. And I kind of get frustrated here and start jumping up and down because I'm just like, "Argh! Please, team, help me win!" But they're not doing that. This is probably the hardest pair of objectives to hold in the game. And you see, now I have switched guns. I skipped ahead a bunch because they got Alpha pretty quickly, and we started having to hold Bravo. And those 2 guys were camping in that door for so long. I actually died to them 3 times, but I really wanted to make the push through there, because if you can run up that staircase and get a flank on it, it is devastating for the other team. And this is really what I was thinking here. You know, I was just thinking, okay, they've got pressure up the staircase. They're not coming up the slope because you can see on the map there's a tugs down there, and we can see whenever they're coming. So I wanted to make sure that this staircase was clear so they would stop pushing out, because this is a really crucial spot to hold. That guy I had just killed, and he was camping and waiting for me. And right here I do something I absolutely hate, but that's some spray and pray because I just wanted to make sure that nobody was there. And I don't know how they got it armed there still, but they did. But we get it defused, and then there's a Wally, and then there's an engineer, and I screw up, and my teammate here gets killed because he refuses to move, and he gets drilled to death by the Wally. And that guy honestly should have died there. Those Wallies are way stronger than they have any right to be. They're so stupidly tough to kill. And right there, I wasn't really too mad about dying because my teammates had the doorway held down pretty well. But you can see now on the map there are a ton of mortars, and that's a huge problem at this point in time. If they start mortaring and they start clearing people out, that means they get that charge. And there are 4 mortars, which means lots of shells dropping on people's heads in very quick succession. So I'm just thinking, okay, they've got the staircase held. There are people in the staircase. So what I need to do is I need to go get those mortars. Because if they start shelling and they start clearing people out, it's gonna be a short walk to that Bravo charge, and then we're gonna be screwed. And it's really for me all about just trying to think my way through a game or feel my way through a game. And I get a nice little triple here to end because that guy just spawned on the guy I was shooting, and that's game over. But if I'm on it, I'm not really thinking my way through a game, I'm more feeling my way through it. That was a really good example of me feeling my way through a game and just seeing what I needed to do and what needed to be done for us to win. So that's all for this episode. I might make some more tips and tricks videos later on, but I just felt like I wanted to describe what type of player I was. So make sure you leave a like or a dislike depending on what you thought of the video. If you do dislike, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below letting me know what I can do to improve for the future. Subscribe if you want more, and I will see you all in the next video.
Then one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow.